This is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film. And today I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed bassist and vocalist of the hit band Giant Panda Guerrilla Dub Squad, the one and only Mr. James Sterl. But before we get to our interview, here's a sneak peek at his incredible talent.
Come on, let me play you a song. Right here under the stars. Tell me how you feel. I know things come along every day that we keep it on. Yeah, the sun shines for you. The sun shines for you. Hey, come on, let's go find just a little time.
Hello, James. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm so excited we're finally connected. And I want to know, first and foremost, talk to me a bit about the impetus behind the song Sun Shines For You, the song the audience just got a little sneak peek of.
Yeah, actually, this is a song that was written by Dylan Savage. In Giant Panda Guerrilla Dub Squad, we have 3 songwriters, and it's been a really beautiful relationship because everybody has their own style. And Dylan worked actually at the gas station behind our middle school when me and the drummer were growing up, and he kind of first introduced us to reggae. That like reggae was music that not only does it come from Jamaica and from the Jamaican people, but it travels from influence people who show it to other people, and it wasn't like a mainstream music for us at the time. So he was playing in these reggae bands and kind of showing us about how great songwriting can be done with reggae, about great subjects, love songs, political songs, message music. And I would say that this is kind of the best example of why we love Dylan and his songwriting. He showed us this on the beach after a show that we played in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's us on Folly Beach in the video. We just recorded it right there, pretty much learned it right then and there, and released the video because that's how you can do things these days. So that's what that song is about. It's a classic Dylan Savage love song, and glad to be sharing it with y'all.
Please, I freaking love it. I also love that you have so many different musicians with so many different skill sets just within your collective, your band. I mean, I'm curious to know how you all got together to form your group.
Yeah, well, we've always wanted to be a squad. So the reality is that we come from Rochester, New York, and there's always been a huge wealth of talent in that town. Original musicians writing original music in all genres. And as I was saying before, the drummer and I, we were growing up together and kind of being influenced by the older musicians around town and the original bands. And Dylan, the guitar player who's of Giant Panda, who wrote Sun Shines For You, he was in a lot of those bands. And through the years, we've just kind of always been trying. We realized that, reggae was something that while we're from upstate New York, seemingly it feels like as far away as where reggae music could come from, but it really influenced us in a way that kind of taught us the other side of a lot of parts of history that we weren't learning necessarily in school or weren't listening to. And we decided to kind of share in the reggae music creation, thinking that, delivering a written song in the reggae format was just a great way to make it kind of worldwide folk music and be part of a bigger conversation, anti-racist conversation, conversation about, being healthy and about love and positivity. And so through the years, that's what it's been. It's been Giant Panda Guerrilla Dub Squad crafting, reggae music from where we're coming from, trying to be respectful of, where everybody else is coming from and where the music comes from, but do our part to kind of add to it. And throughout the years, that has really just brought us the best musicians around. And now, I'd say it's like a 20-person squad. We can kind of call in on people from the past and people have come in and out of the band, and it's kind of become a great institution after 20 years. So that's how we all got together. And you know, the original guys in the band right now, which is me, the drummer Chris, and Dylan, who have been with it the whole time. I'm not saying that we're the worst musicians in the band, but everybody else is phenomenal and has always been there. It's always like, how are we getting these incredible musicians to, you know, come take part in this?
Well,
What
it's
is
the old
seeming,
adage, right? I mean, surround yourselves
yeah,
with people that are better than you. But on the same time, what I love so much, James, is that you have such an amazing view of where your group is at in terms of reggae being so much of the bloodline of your group. I mean, reggae, obviously, as we all know in our history, has been such an amazing musical art form that pushes to the forefront a lot of these socio-economic, political statements and messages, but also those messages of love and light. And the fact that you and your group, with care and understanding of the history and looking back to look forward, have been able to infuse yourselves with the reggae music, understanding where it came from, but at the same time making it your own unapologetically. I think, I mean, it's your group, I feel like, is like the antidote to what we need now more than ever to help fight, I think, so much of the division in our world. And I think that it's like, it just seems like a lightning in the bottle moment for all of you, that this is the time when we need Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad now more than ever. Do you feel that way?
well, you know, what I like to say is that we meet in the music because we all suffer from this tension and divisiveness also. We know that when we're playing a concert, there's people in the room that feel wildly different about all sorts of issues that aren't really affecting them in the room at that moment. And they might not even really affect them at all, but they might think that they affect them, or they might be concerned that, and in the end, it really does feel like everybody wants the same thing, which is, you know, peace, safety, enough to eat, you know, everything. You want to have a good education, you want to have access to good health care. Everybody wants those things. And music is always an antenna that kind of sends out a signal of neutrality, you know, where it's like, hey, we're all at the party right now, we're all enjoying the music right now. And the more that that can happen, the better of a state that we're probably in. So,
Mm.
you know, we're not the only ones out there trying to be positive and make peaceful music that isn't ignoring the real situation, you know, because there, you can't just be passively making, you know, apolitical music or not talking about it, because when you're not talking about it, you are talking about it.
That's
You know,
right.
you're saying that this isn't a part of the conversation that we're going to focus on. And while, you know, we're not writing like, you know, anti-Nazi songs every single song, but like we're writing love songs because that's a part of the community that we want to be a part of. And, you know, at whatever cost, we want to be able for people to get together and be safe and, you know, have the room to grow and love each other and all that. So we meet in the music. It's definitely hard individually on the day to day, I think, for everybody right now. And for, you know, whether you're the richest person in the world or whether you got nothing, people are struggling in all these different ways. And music is one of those only, you know, music is one of those ways to fill the space. It's one of those ways to fill the time. And that's what we're doing on Earth. We're spending time. And when you can fill it with good music and enjoy each other, that's probably the best way to do it. And so we're trying to promote any level of that we can. We're not, you know, social engineers. We can't, you know, grow all the food or anything like that, save all the lives, but we're doing what we think is positive and what brings us what we love in our life, which is great people and great communities and great times. And we get to see a lot of that touring around and just having people reflect to us about the music. They come from all walks of life, all political views, everybody who likes our music, you know, everybody under the sun is there. So
That's amazing, James. And the fact that you are showing and not telling, you're not preaching, you're showing the power of this collective, this squad, the power of being open to conversation in a world today where everyone is literally and figuratively stuck in their timelines in just listening and maybe talking with people of their own background, creed, gender, political views, socio-economic views, but the fact that this is a safe space for people to be themselves and to enjoy this universal transcendent language that you all put together, that I'm just so excited that not only you guys are already doing so amazingly well with the few tens of thousands of followers all across all your social media platforms, but now with FENIX being able to explore that and expand that reach around the world. I'm curious for you as an artist, what that means for you to be able to expand that audience, but also maybe those collaborators out there who you may want to collaborate with outside of the United States.
You know, one thing that Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad has struggled with the digital change in music, with everything, a lot of great things have happened, whereas a lot of tools have been put in artists' hands, but there's a lot of different places to go find those. And you don't exactly always know where you should put the energy into what tool. And when I would search for us on the internet, you know, it would be hard to figure out who we are and what exactly we do, or what we think is special about us and what we want to share. It's really hard to put that into one place. And I do feel like FENIX is a good opportunity to put to craft it in the way that you want it to look and have it all be at the same spot and very easily accessible to really anybody. And also have a way with supporting artists, because we are in, a world where people need to get paid, that there's a way to share that kind of on one platform. So, I'm interested to see how that develops and takes off. But with the rise of all sorts of different social media networks, and when YouTube came out, and MySpace and Facebook and TikTok, and it's really hard as an artist to know how to cover all of those platforms in a way that it all comes back to you, and that you have control about what it looks like and how it comes across. So we're hoping that, I think we can do that with FENIX. We're really having fun looking into it and checking out what's available. So thank you.
Amazing, James. Well, listen, for more on James and Giant Panda Gorilla Dub Squad, you can read more about him in all of them right below this video. James, God bless you, and thank you so much for your time. And also, I'm just grateful that we're connected now.
Thank you for connecting with us. That's what it's all about. We really appreciate it.